Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Oh, hello. I'm super. How are you?
Fantastic. How could I be anything but? We've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today, and we're going to start right here. I'm going to tell you what's going on later in the program. I'm going to be visiting with Larry Correia, and he says, must we give up liberties in exchange for safety? He's an ex-military contractor, and he says, we must not be governed by fear. We're going to talk about what that all means coming up here in a bit. And speaking of that, take a listen to this. A study shows 30% of mothers in this country can't afford to buy diapers. That's not good. Researchers at Yale University surveyed pregnant and parenting women, and a third of them said they were in, quote, diaper need. So when I was a kid, I remember
cloth diapers.
I was going to just say that. I remember. I don't remember me wearing them, but I have younger siblings, and I remember there were times where we had cloth diapers.
Yeah, my parents used cloth diapers.
So that is a good idea.
That
if
is
you're
an option.
in, quote, diaper need. I
Right.
understand. It's yucky. It's not going to be fun, but at least you have diapers.
Exactly.
Coming up, got some special things to talk about. That's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, December the 17th. It is Clean Air Day today.
Isn't that
So
special?
do this. I just celebrated Clean Air Day. Nice.
Super.
It's also Free Shipping Day, whatever that means. It's National Regifting Day. So you're already starting to think about, what can I give from last year that I didn't even open?
You know what?
Have you done that?
I am guilty of doing that.
Oh, no.
Not only once, but repeatedly.
And I got that, and it came back to me like a boomerang, so then I gave it away again. It is also Wright Brothers Day, so a big thank you to the Wright brothers for heading to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and kicking that airplane off the ground so we all learned how to fly. Can you believe that just a little over 100 years ago, it was impossible to fly until those guys made it possible? How awesome
crazy.
is that? So today is Wright Brothers Day, so celebrate that and celebrate Clean Air Day on this Thursday, the 17th of December.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
Well, you know it's true because you heard it on the radio. You really can find love just about anywhere. Take a listen to this. A couple of prisoners in an Ivory Coast jail apparently fell in love through a peephole in an iron door. Both were released for a few hours to get married. The groom was Roland.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the groom was Roland Guy Barbeau, who was serving a 3-year sentence for stealing a bicycle. The bride was Emily Yobet. She was given a 1-year sentence for kidnapping a child.
This is bizarre. This is almost identical to the way we met.
That is. I was going to say, that's how we met. No, it's not. That's not quite. Heidi
John stole a skateboard.
Yeah, Heidi didn't kidnap a child. It was a whole busload of kids. So, no, that's not true. Don't think that way of us. They met while Roland was delivering groceries in the prison for Emily to cook. He would take the groceries to an iron door. A guard would deliver them. Emily actually completed her sentence 2 days after the wedding, but brings food to the jail every day to supplement her new hubby's meager prison diet. So he got 3 years, she got 1 year, so he'll get out here eventually, and then they're gonna be on the other side of the iron bars, and we'll hope that this thing goes well for them. It's interesting. It was, again, an Ivory Coast jail is where they met, and now they're married, hopefully happily ever after. So that is an interesting way to meet each other.
It is.
So, again, that's not really how we met. I know that's what Heidi said. She was pulling your leg, folks. She likes to do that from time to time, which is why she was in jail when we met. She was pulling. No, she wasn't really. We didn't really meet in jail. I'm going to change the subject. But I can tell you.
We met at our parole hearing.
No, it wasn't even that. I can tell you this. These guys really did meet in jail in the Ivory Coast, and you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. River rafting can be dangerous, especially if your idea involves a flotation device like a six-pack. Thomas Williams and two roommates decided to go rafting on the Colorado River near Vail, Colorado. Instead of hiring a tour guide, they said, we'll just get a blow-up raft from Walmart. We don't need any help. Instead of life jackets, we brought along they brought along a couple of 12 packs of beer. I can't even say this. The river in the area that they chose is a Class 3 rapids. That's not good. An experienced guide saw their raft overturned and rescued them, barely. Williams said afterwards, I was under for so long, I just blacked out. Then again, it could have been from the beer. So
Probably was from the beer.
yeah. Anyway, if you're going to go rafting, first of all, make sure you know what you're doing. Second of all,
Make sure
you have
sober.
the proper gear. And next of all, or last of all, don't be drunk as a skunk. Just a couple of tips from Uncle John. Coming up, we have your moment of duh.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Now your moment of duh. This one takes place in the post office. An employment agency in Northampton in the UK provided a postal facility with temporary mail carriers. One problem, though. The temporary mail carriers couldn't read English. Unfortunately, this was not found out until they all ended up getting lost during their rounds because they couldn't read street signs. They had to be picked up and returned to the sorting facility.
Goodness.
Postal official says, we've gone back to the employment agency to readdress with them what our requirements are. We're sorting mail. We're delivering mail. You must at least be able to read the mail. So,
Wow. That's funny.
yeah, I can't believe that. I understand you're trying to make sure everybody has a job. That's good. But if you can't read, it's going to be really tough to have that job. Yeah. This is why it's important. If you don't know how to read, somebody will teach you. Just say, hey, I'd like some help. Somebody help me, and they'll teach you to read. That's going to open a whole new world for you, folks. Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day. It's on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. Several hundred Americans are hospitalized every year from injuries resulting in eating Christmas ornaments.
What?
Yeah, every year somebody eats a Christmas ornament because they think it's not an ornament. They think it looks delicious. They're like, wow, this big shiny silver thing here. Looks delicious.
Gosh.
Yeah, several hundred Americans
Clearly
every
alcohol
year.
is involved when this happens.
Probably. It usually
Or
starts
maybe
with...
they eat the ones that look like little gingerbread men or something.
Could be. Or it starts with a dare. Hey, I dare you to eat
Or one
that.
that looks like a candy cane. Hey, they've got candy canes on their tree.
A United Kingdom teenager wanted by the police is not only on the lam, but he was made fun of so badly the police department took his photo off their Facebook page. Kalen Klosick is wanted in connection with a burglary. Cops posted his mugshot on their Facebook page in December on the 7th. People started making fun of him, primarily for his ears. The picture has then been deleted since then. They're like, he's in trouble already. Quit making fun of the poor kid. Come on.
Yeah, that's not nice.
So apparently he's got ears that are interesting because I have not seen the photo.
As someone with ginormously huge ears,
You
I feel...
don't have-
Oh, I do. They're
No.
awful. I feel sorry for that kid.
Food allergies affect about 1 in 13 U.S. children, double the latest government estimate, according to a new study. Researchers say about 40% of them have severe reactions, a finding they hope will erase misconceptions that food allergies are just like hay fever and other seasonal allergies that are troublesome but not dangerous. Overall, 8% of children studied had food allergies. Peanuts and milk were the most common. This translates to about 6 million U.S. children.
Don't you wonder what
I know.
that's coming from?
Because when I was a kid,
When I was a
nobody was
kid,
allergic to that.
We didn't have any problems.
No.
We certainly didn't have to have peanut-free tables.
And if you have a child with that, I feel bad for you because that would stink.
It would be so scary.
But
but what's causing?
I don't know.
Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, these allergies started
I know.
showing
I
up.
don't remember any of that when I was a kid. Hey, a survey reveals that more than a third of us assault our computers in one way or another because the machine frustrates us. Have you ever hit your computer?
I hit my GPS computer in the car, and now it's broken.
She broke the screen. I was like, this doesn't work. She's like, yeah, I hit that. Okay. Let's just pretend like that's normal.
We'll call and find out how much that is to fix. $800?
Yeah,
I guess it'll stay broken.
Ronald Kane broke into a residence, and he headed for the garage where he spotted a lawnmower that he thought he might like to take home with him.
Oh, my gosh.
But first, for some unknown reason, he decided that maybe I'm going to do some alterations on it right here in this garage. He started banging on the mower with a hammer. The homeowner came home and called the police. They came and arrested the lawnmower man. By the way, the homeowner said there was nothing wrong with the mower. Maybe the guy just really wanted to make it look different before he drove down the road with it. I'm not sure.
Funny.
But he was pounding on it with a hammer in his garage. A food pyramid for the under 2 set? Contrary to popular belief, children don't usually outgrow their baby fat. A recent report urges steps to help prevent babies, toddlers, and preschoolers from getting too pudgy too soon. It's a growing problem, Heidi. Already, 1 in 5 preschoolers 2 to 5 years old is, quote, overweight or obese.
But have you seen those scales?
I know.
What they say you should weigh?
I used to be able to see my own scale, but now my belly's in the way, so I can't see the scale.
Okay, that's a
not
different
quite
story.
that.
But
I'm just teasing.
somebody
It's
my
not that
height, I'm supposed to weigh 130 pounds. Can you imagine what
No.
I would look like? I would look awful at 130.
No. I don't make the scales. Topping the list of the proposed changes, they say better guidelines to help parents and caregivers know how much toddlers should eat as they move from baby food to bigger kid fare. And making preschoolers get at least 15 minutes of physical activity for every hour they spend in childcare. That's usually not hard. Kids like to run and have fun. So,
Blah, blah, blah.
hey, strange law for you, Heidi. In Marion, Oregon, ministers are forbidden from eating garlic or onions before delivering a sermon. So they can't have garlic or onions before they deliver their sermon on Sundays.
What if vampires come in?
There you go. See? I don't know. I have no clue. It's a strange law.
It's not like anybody in the congregation can smell. He's up there.
I don't know. Maybe they get way closer in Marion, Oregon. All I know is that's your strange law. And this has been your Scoop of the Day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We appreciate you tuning in today. We've got a special guest on the program with us today. He's an author and an ex-military contractor, Larry Correia, joining us today. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Well, we're glad to have you on. And this time of year, a lot of folks will be traveling. They'll be going places. If they're going to be flying, they'll be going through airport security. And one of the things we're going to talk about is giving up liberties in exchange for safety. You know, when you go through the airport security, nowadays they're patting down grannies like they're terrorists. Is that important that they do that? Sometimes do they kind of go a little too far, maybe?
Yeah, that's kind of my basic point that I've been trying to make for years now is that we often do these things that are just kind of theater designed to make people feel better, and we kind of ignore the real problems, and we target the wrong people, and we wind up giving up our freedom in exchange for imaginary safety. And so that's kind of been a drum that I've been banging and a thing that I've written about quite a bit.
I just read a thing that said that the shooters in California, there was a neighbor that had a concern, but they didn't come forward because they were afraid of being labeled racist for having the concern. I think that is something to be concerned about. If you're afraid to come forward when you think there's somebody doing something wrong because you're afraid of what they're going to say about you, that's bad. Do you think maybe political correctness has kind of gotten a little bit out of control too?
Well, it's just, honestly, we're putting political correctness over basic human survival instinct. Look, the reason that you profile people, you have an instinct for self-preservation, right? And every human being has this. So you see things that make you worried, make you scared, pay attention. I mean, that's the main thing is look at it logically and say, okay, am I being rational? Is this something I should actually be scared of? It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with what somebody looks like. It's really whether you key off of, is this something dangerous to me or not? And so when we get all politically correct and we're like scared to confront reality because we're worried that it makes us a bad person, that's just silly. I mean, I myself, I'm a big, scary-looking dude. And when I was young, I was even uglier. You know, I'm kind of a big, physically imposing, intimidating guy. So my whole life, I've had people look at me like, wow, this is kind of a scary-looking dude. I've had women clutch their purses. I've heard the car doors lock when I walk by. I'm not insulted. I think that's good. That means that person is paying attention to their surroundings. Because, yeah, I'm a nice guy, but the the next person might not be. And so there's nothing wrong with being able to watch out for your surroundings. It's just situational awareness.
Well, and right now we've got, again, for whatever reason, the political season starts earlier and earlier. I remember when I was a kid, they used to be like, right before the election they would talk about it. It's just under a year away now, but for the last 6 months, we've been talking, in the news about the political candidates. What kind of things would you like to hear from a presidential candidate to help us get back to the way it should be or get on course to the way it should be?
I would personally love to hear things about increasing freedom, increasing liberty, decreasing government intervention in our lives, making the government smaller and less intrusive. I mean, that's what I personally would like to see. But sadly, it seems that the vast majority of the discussion isn't how to get government out of the way in our lives. It's how to put government more into our lives. And it's gotten to the point where it's just kind of silly. So, I mean, yes, we have enemies who really want to kill us. I mean, we have to accept that. That's just how it is. And we have bad people out there who are going to do bad things. But it seems like the solution is we use those people as an excuse to get into every aspect of life. It's this real kind of weird control freak thing the government has going on where, I have no ties to terrorism, but they can get into my bank account. They can read my email. They can listen to my phones. They can track all my financial transactions, look at my credit card statements. They can put me on a list, a secret, unaccountable watch list. They can do all these things, and then they can audit you with 1,000 different agencies, all in the name of what? Terror? Yes, terror is bad, but at the same time, we have this awful terror out there, and the government, we have people trying to shoot us, and the government's proposal is to disarm us, and so we can trust them to protect us, even though, that's where I would like to see more candidates talk about, loosening that ratchet on freedom. Let Americans take care of themselves. Let us fend for ourselves. Let us defend ourselves. Quit hobbling us, because we're the last line of defense when the bad guys get through, and they will, because they're motivated.
What liberties do you feel are on the chopping block if we suffer another terrible attack?
I don't know. I think it all depends on whether they can spin the narrative at the time, because if you look at last week, it was all gun control. That was what they decided to run with, because they didn't want to talk about the fact that they were completely inept on stopping terrorism. So instead, they tried to make it into a domestic problem. Before that, it was metadata, and it was collecting all your emails, and it depends. Basically, whatever the event is just a conversation starter for the people who want to gather more authority. And I don't know. I think it'll depend on what the event is, but then there is basically no civil liberty that they won't come after. There is no area of your life that they don't want to be involved in, and that's kind of the problem we face right now.
Again, visiting today with Larry Correia. He is a New York Times bestselling author of Monster Hunter International Series. Also, we've got a new book. Now, how long is your newest book, Son of the Black Sword? How long has that been out?
Son of the Black Sword has been out for a couple months. It's doing really good. Turned out I was just the runner-up for the best fantasy novel of the year on Audible.com. I lost only to Jim Butcher, and Jim is a fantastic author, so that was great. It's done really well. It's been actually very popular, getting really good reviews. It's an epic fantasy novel. It's the first time I've done that, and I wrote about a kind of a world with a tyrannical government and a real strict caste system, with government bureaucrats being the top ruling caste. So as you can see, as we've had this political discussion, you can kind of see what inspired the book.
There you go.
It's a lot of fun. It's been doing good. So.
Well, I appreciate you doing what you're doing out there, and thanks for taking the time to chat with us, and thank you for paying attention to what's going on in the world and letting folks know.
Well, I really appreciate having me on. Thank you very much.
Again, Larry Correia, and if you'd like, I'm going to spell that last name in case you plan on searching for him online. The last name is Correia, but it's pronounced Correia, Larry Correia. And again, his latest book, out right now if you want to check it out, Son of the Black Sword. Thank you so much for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by carsforsale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at carsforsale.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Did you know that a University of Maryland study has found that 65% of medical professionals, doctors, nurses, whatnot, said they had not washed their lab coat in a week. 65%.
So what?
They wear the same lab coat around sick people every day in over a week. 16% said they have not washed their lab coats in over a month.
So what?
Wearing this around all those sick people, all those germs hanging on those coats.
Oh my gosh.
I think that sounds bad.
No, that is not bad. Good Lord. As long as they're washing their hands, that's all that matters.
Okay, what if they brush up against you with their coat? Just saying. Hollywood. Oh, hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Hollywood producers say they're bringing the 1970 TV series Kung Fu to the big screen. How fun is that? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that?
Individuals with higher IQs are 3 times more likely to suffer from depression because of increased brain activity. That's why we're always so darn sad around here. We're all so smart.
No, it's because they're informed and they read about politics and they're like, oh my gosh.
We are all in trouble. All right, that's enough for the fun facts. Coming up, 200 quick and simple life hacks. I'm sure we won't get through all of them, but we'll give you some. It's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
Have you ever heard of a life hack, Heidi? You know what that is?
Yes, I've heard of it.
I don't like
things that make your life easier.
Yeah, I think it's a dumb name for it. It's just tips to make things easier. Well, there's a list of 200 of them. I can't share all of them here, but I'll share some of them. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right, we'll start right here. Remove a broken key from a lock. How would you do it?
I'd call a locksmith.
I'll tell you how. Put some super glue on the broken part that you're holding in your hand, insert it, hold it for just a few seconds, and then pull, and it should come out.
Oh, right. And then you glue the key to your doorknob.
Put too much glue. Nailed it. No, glued it. All right. Another quick, simple life hack. Straighten warped records. If you have a warped record, place records between 2 sheets of glass and let it sit in the sun for a while. The sun will heat it up enough to flatten it, but not enough to damage it.
And I'm sure it'll sound just the same.
Yeah. Get another fun life hack for you. Another one here. How to revive old razor blades. Rub them back and forth inside a drinking glass.
What?
I'm not going to try that. Knowing my luck, I'll be bleeding all over the place. Well, I'm glad I had this glass here to catch all the blood. No. For as cheap as my razors are from Dollar Shave Club, I'll just keep doing that. I'm not going to do that one. Next, fun life hack. Get water out of your watch. Here's what you do. Strap the watch to a light bulb. Turn on the light bulb for a few minutes. Water drops will form on the glass. Open up and wipe it off. So if you have water in your watch, that's how you're supposed to get it out. Next one. Open a stuck zipper. You ever have that happen?
Yes.
You're supposed to spray the zipper with shaving cream.
What? I don't think so.
It's all over your pants. Shaving cream.
Especially if you're a guy. That's an unfortunate
but
life hack.
At least I got my zipper up. So leave me alone and look the other way.
That would look terrible.
Another life hack. Easily untie a knot in a chain. Cover the knot generously with cold cream.
Oh, really?
I don't know. That's what they say on here. I don't believe any of these. I got a whole list of them. I will share them for you at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
How much is the world worth, Heidi? If you were to take everything that is on the planet Earth, how much is it worth? You think that's impossible? Well, not according to scientists, ecologists, and economists. According to them, nature provides a tangible service, therefore can be quantified. It must be quantified, they say, in order for economic decisions to be made regarding the planet and its resources. 13 of the brainiacs previously mentioned estimate that the global worth, the estimated value of our planet, is somewhere between $17 and $54 trillion. The consensus, when they said, come on, that's a huge span, guys, the consensus was, let's go with 33 trillion. So $33 trillion is what our world is worth.
Sure,
so
it is.
If we get an offer from somebody for more than 33 trillion, we should take it. Just saying. Sold. Earth is sold $35 trillion. That's a good deal. It's a bargain. I have no idea. Why would they even need to calculate that? Coming up, we've got a super kid in the news. This is a cool story. It's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
Never in a million years would I have thought somebody would do this, but imagine growing up with the name Superman on your birth certificate.
Oh, my gosh.
Swedish authorities have turned down a request by two parents to register Superman as the name for their child. The parents wanted their son to be named after the superhero because they say he was born with one arm pointing upward, the position Superman flies in. The authorities say no.
Name him
we're not
Clark
gonna let you,
and call it good.
Yeah, the boy would be ridiculed later in life. The appeals court also upheld the ruling for no. And I agree. They should have named him Clark, and his middle name could have been Kent, and then whatever they want for their last name, probably the one that they have. But, don't name him Superman. Because even naming him Clark Kent, whatever your last name is, that's probably going to be enough to get
Or wait to have a girl named her Sue Perman.
Sue Perman? Oh, boy. Why did I even ask? Well, in the news, we have a McLawsuit. It's on the McWay coming in a bit. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Anytime you bring up frivolous lawsuits, somebody's going to mention a particular case where somebody sued somebody for something. What is the one that I'm thinking of?
McDonald's and coffee.
Yeah. Somebody got like $1 million for hot coffee on her. What is the deal with people suing McDonald's all the time? Well, a New Jersey man now is suing McDonald's for injuries that he claims he sustained from an auto accident caused by a McDonald's customer. Yeah. John Carter claims the customer from McDonald's who hit him did so after spilling his McDonald's chocolate shake onto his lap. Therefore, somehow that is
not McDonald's fault.
He was reaching over to grab his McFries when he did this. He alleges that McDonald's sold their customer food knowing that he would consume it while driving and without announcing the warning to the effect of don't eat and drive. He's suing for how much, Heidi?
Oh, millions, I'm sure.
Believe it or not, $10,000.
Really?
Yeah. Here's why. I think he thought, make it cheap
low enough, they're
going to just give it to me.
Yeah.
$10,000 and 7 Happy Meals. Yeah, $10,000 and 7 Happy Meals.
But
that's what I want.
They can't settle with this man because then they're setting precedent, and anybody who is ever in an accident, if there's a McDonald's wrapper anywhere in that car,
I just don't understand how it would be McDonald's fault. They didn't.
No, it's not McDonald's.
They weren't driving the car.
No.
So anyway, I understand you're disappointed. Somebody ran into you. He should have insurance, and that insurance
company is the one that should cover the expenses. That's right.
Or the driver himself. He should be the one, just saying. You don't frivolously... how do you say that?
Frivolously?
Frivolously. I don't say that word very often. or I don't think I've ever said it before. I don't think I've said it still. But you don't do that because then it makes all lawsuits look bad, and that's not good. Coming up, we've got some good news, and I've got some really neat good news to share. That is on the way on The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
Every once in a while, I try to end this program with something positive, and I think this is a pretty good one. I usually try to find good news, and most of the time I do. This is one that might just restore your faith in people. People, take a listen. Last week, maybe a couple weeks ago, anyway, in the recent past, in Calgary, they have a hockey team there. It's called the Calgary Hitmen. Never heard of them. It's a minor league hockey team, and they held their annual teddy bear toss. In the second period, Jordy Stollard got the first goal of the contest for the home team. That's the signal for the plush toys to be tossed onto the ice during the teddy bear toss.
All right.
By the time the fur was done flying and the teddy bears have toppled to the ice, you couldn't even see the ice. Guess how many teddy bears tumbled to the ice?
I have no idea.
28,000 teddy bears.
Huh.
That's a lot of teddy bears.
That is a lot of teddy bears.
Officials say that is a new world record, And the bears will go to 50 different local charities. So this is a thing that they do to give out teddy bears to kiddos Christmas time.
That's nice.
And again, it's the Calgary Hitmen. I've never heard of them before. That doesn't sound like the kind of people who
they
do
don't
something
sound like
nice.
very charitable folks.
Got a great donation from the Hitman the other day. It was a bullet between the eyes. That's the kind of donation I was expecting. No, this is 28,000 teddy bears.
Nice. That's cool.
That is really cool. So I don't know how many people that is. Do you think there's room for more than 28,000 people in the stands, or did everybody have at least one and some threw more than one? Anyway, it's a new world record. 50 different local charities in the Calgary area are going to be partaking and doling out those teddy bears.
That's really nice.
It is very nice. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks again for joining us on this Thursday on the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can learn more about them on their website, and I'll tell you what that is here in a second. But first, let me tell you why you should use them. Do you like looking handsome, guys? I mean, who wants scraggly facial hair getting in the way of your beautiful, good-looking face? Shave that gunk off with a razor from the Dollar Shave Club. And once you got that silky smooth face, you better be ready for women to kiss you. I mean, I was walking down the road the other day, and a lady came over and kissed me out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Okay, that didn't happen. First of all, you wouldn't catch me walking anywhere because I'm quite portly. I don't think that'd be good. But second of all, I don't think anybody would be smooching me out of nowhere. But I do get more kisses from you when I'm clean shaven.
You do.
So get clean shaven, look really good. No Shave November is done. Get rid of those whiskers with a membership to the Dollar Shave Club. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. All right, what do I have over here? University of Birmingham in England. You ever heard of them?
Yeah.
They've found that if you let certain germs feed on chocolate and nougat and caramel, they produce enough hydrogen to power a small fan.
Really?
Instead of throwing away eaten chocolate, candy companies could use this bacteria to convert it into hydrogen to run their factories to sell to energy companies. Either that, or they could give all of their leftover chocolate to me, and I'll produce even more gas. I could probably power a fan. You're going to need a fan anyway. I'm just saying. Borgo Prison. I don't know where that is, but that sounds hilarious. If I was going to go to prison, I wouldn't want to go there. First of all, I wouldn't want to go to prison. But would you want to go to a place called Borgo Prison?
I don't know.
I just think that sounds ridiculous. Well, they became the laughing stock of France recently when 3 prisoners walked through the open doors after wardens fell for a fake fax ordering their release.
I think we talked about this one.
It happened to them again. This is the time.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, this time they escaped by helicopter. Prison authorities said 2 masked men hijacked an emergency services helicopter just after it delivered a patient to a hospital in Bastafia. And they forced the pilot to fly to the Borgo prison. That's in the North Mediterranean island, by the way. So if you're wondering where this luxurious place might be. Once over the prison, the hijackers lowered a cable for a prisoner recently arrested on drug trafficking charges to grab onto and be hoisted up into the helicopter. The 3 then had the pilot land at a nearby beach where they met accomplices waiting with an escape car and a motorcycle. This sounds like something out of a movie.
It does sound like it.
So these are the same guys that let the other guys leave when the fax came in.
That's pretty brazen.
Let's see, we got a fax here. It says, let these 3 go. All right. Mo, go unlock the doors. Larry, Curly, come with me. I see a helicopter. I don't know what the heck's going on over there. But anyway, the Borgo prison, they didn't have a good name to start with, but their good name is being tarnished. I'm just saying. A guard at a Turkish state bank robbed his own cashiers and then passed out $25,000 to passersby right outside of the bank.
Oh.
The security guard brandished his own pistol, and he forced the teller to empty the safe before running into the street, firing the gun in the air, throwing cash out of the bag. When he noticed the escaping cash, he threw some of it in the air and handed out the rest to a passerby and a shopkeeper. The guard had been working for 4 years at this bank. It's
and apparently just snapped.
Yeah.
He just had enough.
Emlak Bank in Turkey. They're now going to
gosh.
close the bank. Police say he was depressed at the prospect of losing his job because they were looking at closing this branch. So he thought, well, I'm losing my job anyway. I'm going to do it in
go out
style.
with a bang.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot my gun in the air and I'm going to fling some cash
wow.
like I just don't care. So he had a darn good time. And one other positive story here I'm going to share. This is from WestJet. You've ever heard of them?
No.
I've never heard of them. But they're an airline, and they are known for Christmas marketing stunts. And they just did another one. 12,000 mini miracles in 24 hours. WestJet's Blue Santa, they say the mini miracles are simple acts of kindness that evoke positive responses from someone. Whether that's a free cup of coffee or a trip to Vancouver. Wednesday of last week, WestJet Santa began his journey across Canada from Halifax to Vancouver, performing mini miracles in the spirit of Christmas. WestJet employee street teams were also handing out things, doing good deeds in 10 different time zones from London to Hawaii in order to make the goal of 12,000 mini miracles in 24 hours. They challenged people around the world to contribute by completing their own mini miracles and then tweeting about it with the hashtag WestJetChristmas. So if you know how to find hashtags, I was thinking of that the other day. I've seen hashtag this and hashtag that. I'm like, what the heck does that mean? I don't know. Hashtag, what the heck does that mean? I don't know what it means. Do you know what it means?
No.
We're not.
I've got a favorite new hashtag. I was
What's
telling
that?
you about that the other day.
Oh, yeah. Let's not
I
talk
can't
about
talk
that.
about it, but
It's got some naughty language in it.
It does.
But I'm not sure exactly what the whole hashtag thing is, but they're doing it. The crazy kids are doing that stuff now. Well, that's going to do it for your bonus break. It's brought to you by hashtag Dollar Shave Club. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.